Hey, honestly, I think that I think on the women's side, like, Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair?
Yeah.
Okay.
How come?
She has all the tools.
Yeah.
All the fucking tools. And just needs experience. Well, all of the Shayna Baszler, she's my favorite of all the women.
Yeah.
All of them. Fuck.
All right,
Matt Riddle is the man.
Matt Riddle, yeah, of course.
He's like, to me, he's a prodigy. I Riddle and the guy they call Damian Priest now, who's Punishment Martinez. I trained with those guys. I wouldn't train with them at the Monster Factory a little bit when they first started.
Yeah.
What do you do, Sean, when you're training with them? What is it? You're teaching them moves? You're teaching them mental? You're teaching them...
Like I did train with them, like got them out a little bit and get in the ring, but...
It's more about your experience, right?
It's like, okay, so you should do this here and then do this there, and like, you already know how to do the move, so this is what you do in between the moves.
Yeah.
And, this is how you make the people feel certain things, and
because that type of thing never changes really.
Right.
But what do you think from like when you in the heyday, like during the Attitude Era to like now, like what's the differences as far as kind of how people should be used to it? Because it's more like not organized, it's organized, but it's more like the machine is very different these days. And when I was there and when back in the heyday, so what do you think the differences are between your time and now?
Oh, it's just the machine is just so much bigger, and it's just easy to get lost in that. And the writing team, there's like that whole thing, man.
Yeah.
Like the writing team and like just how things are done, and like the process is just so much different, man.
Right, it's true.
And like for me to come in here and say this is how it is, and that would be kind of bullshit of me. I do know what a lot of what's going on around there, but
where do you think it will be, or what do you think it will look like in 5 years, 10 years from now? Completely different, or
I think it's going to be like things are going to change a little bit around there. I think things do. I think they kind of always do.
Yeah.
Like there's some things that can be done better, and I think eventually they will be. The NXT talent, and that is still technically the developmental system, but that could be a standalone brand.
It really is already, because so my story of it was that like I said, I was a big fan. When I let go, I stopped watching. I was like, it was one of these things. I was hurt by it, but I also think that it was part of it to where I saw the way that everything was being made, and I was like, it was like being a fan of hamburgers and you're being inside the factory. I'm like, I don't know. But when we started this thing, by the way, thank you again. I have to thank you in person for being part of one of our movie trivia Schmodown angles, which was awesome. It was a lot of fun with Team Action. And we started that thing, and I was like, I got to get back into it and kind of watch again and catch up with the shit that I used to love. And I joined the network in 2016. I think the WWE Network's one of the smartest things that was ever. You can access everything and all that. And just watching and maneuvering this, I did the same thing you did. I kind of forgot where I was going at the beginning of it, too, to where we...
Dude, I do that.
I do it all the time. I just
half a dozen times a day.
I just did it. I had a point that I was making, too.
Well, you were talking about NXT developmental.
Thank you. So NXT... that was one of the things everyone said, you got to watch NXT because it was like 2015 was when it really kind of started around that area. So I was still before my time. So I go back in there and I'm watching it. And what they're doing there, it felt to me, that was the old school kind of wrestling part of it that I feel is missing today in the big show because the machine's so big, right? And people are responding to it because I feel like the championships matter more. I feel like there's a ranking system. I feel like there's a little bit more that I...
The simplicity and storytelling.
That's what I loved kind of... And so it's got to be pretty exciting to work in.
You don't need a nuclear physicist to figure out what the fuck's going on storyline-wise.
Right. And that, to me, that's kind of what I liked. And I think that the championships matter because that's... And I know it's different because of, you want the talent to be fighting all the time too, but I loved like when Savage was champion from like WrestleMania 4 to WrestleMania 5 and those long runs, it gave the titles more feeling. And I think that NXT does that a little bit more. Do you think that that's...
I think so, yeah.
And that's Triple H, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so is there a time, and again, I don't want to...
And it's great because, okay, so the thing about NXT is you have not only you got, just like anyone that's not, maybe gobbled up by, New Japan or AEW or whatever, like the cream of the crop in the wrestling industry is in that roster, NXT roster. And you have some amazing, like just incredibly wise people there that are mentoring them.
Yeah.
From Terry Taylor. And people can say, they can make Red Rooster jokes or whatever the fuck they want to do. But those of us in wrestling that have worked with Terry, like Hunter, myself, we both know because we learned a fuckload from Terry Taylor.
Right. He's got a respect from the locker room. That's all you need. Yeah.
Yes. And then you have Shawn Michaels, who has a special, like, it's like, it's almost like a secret. You don't know what the fuck is being said in there, right? In his class, and like that's all the cream of the crop. The
when did he
top
come
guys
back though? Because maybe he wanted to just kind of go off and do his own thing for a while, right?
Yeah, and then he did it, and now he missed it. He missed all this and being around all this, and I don't want to speak for him, but he's told me how satisfying this is for him, and I get it because I've gotten some of that. We get that fix, right? That right in the vein, drug, like it's like a drug for us to go out there. And there's really not a lot. We don't think there's anything that could compare, but Sean said this, and I agree because I felt it a little bit, like being the person that helps like put those matches together, like the Adam Cole versus, Gargano, or the Riddle versus, Roderick Strong that opened it up, that, or just fucking next level out of this world matches.
Right.
Being a part of those, you get that vicarious fucking fix, right?
Yeah,
it's amazing.
So do you think, is it kind of like a little bittersweet though too? Because if you put on big matches like that, right, too, and there's obviously so super satisfying, and guys like Riddle when they pop, but when they go over to the WWE and you lose guys like that, is it just like it's kind of kicking in the balls for a second?
And then when you see how they get handled, once they get up there, and it's just like, oh fuck.
Yeah, is that part of? Is there a writing team in NXT, or just? But I mean, like a full,
yes,
but like a full as big of a writing team. Okay, cool.
I don't know how big. Like I've been in the writing rooms at NXT, but I've not been in a
in
a SmackDown or a Raw writing.